Hi, welcome to Vegetables Day 135. And it is Shout Out Saturday. So, what I want to shout out about today is what I'm currently experiencing, so that I can stress to everyone how important it is for you to be your own self-advocate. Several years ago, excuse me, I started having on and off chest pain. And it was after I was diagnosed with leukemia. And, I mentioned it to the doctor, and to be honest, she tried everything she could think of. She did, a stress test, she did an EKG, she did blood work, she did a Holter monitor, she did even a CT scan, and all of my testing came back normal. And so then, about the same time that it started bothering me more than just every once in a while, and she was doing all this testing, is when I, was starting to ramp up to, or getting close to where I needed treatment. So, even after treatment, so she's like, well, maybe it's the leukemia, so let's see what happens after you get through treatment. And it was actually after treatment, when I was still having the chest pains, after the 6 cycles of the Rituxan, and I was still having the chest pains, that's when she did the CT scan, and all the tests she did continued to come back normal. And she was trying really, really, really hard to find out what was going on. But then insurance changed, and I couldn't see her anymore, so I had to go to another doctor. I saw this new doctor one time, and she decided, well, maybe it's having something to do with the asthma in the lungs, and that's why, or the esophagus, and that's why you're having the chest pains. So she wanted me to see the gastroenterologist and the pulmonologist. So I got referred to them, and then she moved. So then I got referred to a third doctor. This doctor, all the testing came back normal. I was still having the chest pain. Her solution was that, it's just because you are chronically ill and you have leukemia and cancer, and sometimes people just have that. The other thing is, and I'm like, okay, so she wanted to put me on a really popular antidepressant, saying that, that sometimes helps with people's pain. I'm like, no, I'm not doing that. Then I go to the gastro, and he does all his tests. Okay. Well, let me back up. Okay, so then the other thing is that the first doctor that was trying to figure out what was wrong with the test and why I was having all the pain, she did note that one of my thyroid markers was a little off, that she tests for regularly, and I was having, even though my standard thyroid testing was normal, I was having all the symptoms of thyroid disease. And so she did put me on thyroid medicine. But this third doctor, the third doctor that I was seeing, she wouldn't prescribe it for me. She says, well, I have to see your blood work, because when I take your blood work, everything's normal. Well, of course everything's normal because I'm on the medicine. Well, I have to see history to find out what it is that, why this other doctor prescribed it. I'm like, you know, another doctor said I needed it. Why are you why are you doubting her? And then of course I wanted to use the desiccated thyroid, and she was really hesitant, and she told me, this is, so she was an intern, so I went and saw her, her, how do I say it, the doctor that she was underneath, because she was an intern, her attending, sorry, I can't think of the word. I also talked to her attending, and her attending told me that I don't care if I do all the research and see how all of this is supported. I can't follow that because that's not what I was taught. That raised a red flag. So I'm like, okay, time for a new doctor. So the next doctor I saw, he immediately referred me to a cardiologist. Because it had been a couple years, he repeated all the testing, and it all came back normal. All of it. So he was trying to work with it with medication, to try to help me with not only my blood pressure, which kind of continued to go high, even though at one point I was on 2 different blood pressure medicines, and it was still a little elevated. So he changed that, and didn't really change a whole lot as far as my blood pressure. It did go down a little bit, but then I started having these more and more chest pains and more palpitations and such, and he tried to work with medicine with that, and it came to the point like, okay, at what point do you decide to do an angiogram? And that was in February. He said, well, at this point, I feel like the risks of the angiogram far outweigh the benefits. So another 6 months go by, and I'm still having this problem, and it's actually getting worse. And he says, okay, I guess we need to let's go ahead and do the CT angiogram, or CT scan. Did that. 2 weeks after the CT scan, I'm in the cath lab having a stent placed. Okay, great. After that, I, was starting to feel better. Most of the chest pain went away, and I was feeling a lot better. But I still had those palpitations. And and so we tried different medicines. Chest pain would come and go. Palpitations would get really bad, and they'd be okay. So then cardiologist put me on, tried different medicines, different dosages, and the one worked. But it wasn't, I forgot what the reason was. He wanted to switch me from the one to the other. I mean, I worked, but I was still having issues. So he decided he wanted to try another one. And once he had, and then because you can't, I was on the highest dose of this one and the lowest dose of this one. And you're not really supposed to put them together. But he did it anyway. And lo and behold, the palpitations are practically gone. And since I've been off of so then on top of that, during that time, the cancer doctor's like, well, it could be the medicine causing the palpitations. Finally, I got it through his head. And since my numbers were doing so great, he decided to stop the medicine. So my palpitations now are next to gone. I only have them every once in a great while. But now, because every single medicine that I'm taking, there's two medicines for my palpitations, another medicine for my blood pressure. I'm taking an allergy medicine and a stomach medicine. And trying to think, yeah, I think that's it. But all 5 medicines, and one side effect of all 5 medicines is drowsiness, tiredness, and dizziness. And my blood pressure has been doing fantastic. And the more that I eat the way that I am, the lower the blood pressure is going. So once again, I got I got referred to a cardiologist because I kept pushing. I mean, even the stomach doctor, which was a part of the same medical system as the other doctor, he wanted to put me on this antidepressant. I'm like, no, I'm not taking an antidepressant. No, not doing it. It was amitriptyline. That's what it was. And I'm like, no, I'm not doing it. There's got to be something else. And so now I'm taking these 5 medicines. And I am so exhausted. And it's not so much that I'm tired, it's just I don't have any energy. I just want to lay in bed. I don't want to get up and move. And when I do get up and move, I just feel like I have weights on my arms and my legs, and so then I try to push myself, and then I end up hurting myself, and I don't know what happened to my foot. My foot still hurts. So I have to go back to my doctors, and I've been pushing my gastroenterologist, pushing him and pushing him and pushing him, because I don't want to be on the proton pump inhibitor anymore. I've been on it minimum 10 years, and it's only supposed to be short term. I'm about ready to find another gastroenterologist. Next time I go see him, if he doesn't do anything about it, I'm going to find someone else. And then when I see the pulmonologist, all they want to do is shove medicine down, inhalers and pills. I'm going to see if I can stop taking the allergy medicine. I doubt it, but it's worth a try. But it's me having to be my own advocate that has also driven me to research health condition after health condition. And when it came to the heart disease, I have to credit my husband, because he knew that his mom had reversed her heart disease. And so he started researching it for me, and he found Dr. Esselstyn's book, Preventing and Reversing Heart Disease. I bought it and I read it. I didn't act on it. Not right away. But it was definitely my first introduction to this concept of whole foods, plant-based, with no oils, no dairy, no meat, no sugar. And it took a little while, took a few months, but then Scott started having some issues with his heart as well. And so then he really started, we were talking about Dr. Esselstyn's book a little bit, and then we watched Forks Over Knives. And that movie, and I'll put a link to that, to their website in the description box below, because they are now currently offering a full-length movie on their website for free. But that has been one of the movies that has really been an influence on many, many, many people who have switched to this type of diet. And, I go to my doctors here in Central Illinois, and, I mention this to them, and they're just kind of matter of fact about it. Okay, yeah, whatever. I mean, they like it because it makes you eat more vegetables, and they always recommend, increase your vegetables. But they didn't even bring up the concerns that many people bring up when they hear about the whole foods plant-based diet without any meat or dairy. Where are you going to get your protein? How are you going to get enough calcium for strong bones? What about your B12? What about your vitamin D? All the same usual questions. So I'm actually going at this blind because I don't have a doctor to support me. But I have to be my own self-advocate because I want to get off this medicine so bad. I'm tired of being tired. I'm sick of being sick. And if I can do something as simple as changing what I eat and can heal myself, because I truly believe that the body is designed to heal itself. But if I can do that and get off this medicine, life would be so much better. I'm just really struggling. But again, it's, I have to be my own self-advocate. I'm the one that had to do all this research. I'm the one that finds the seminars to watch. I'm the one that finds the, not the research, but the resources to learn more and more about this way of eating and the lifestyle and how to cook the food and how much to eat, what kinds of things to eat, how do you make a full balanced meal, because there's nobody around here that I know of that eats this way, except for a channel called Under the Median. And she's more focused on budgeting and how to live below the median income of the country. And I can put a link to her channel in the description box below as well. But she's the only one I know that lives near me. And, she's there for budgeting, not to support someone who's trying to transition to the diet that I'm trying to transition to. And it's not been easy. It's not been easy at all. Especially in those days where I've hurt something, like my foot, and I run an errand, a couple of errands, and when I get done with the errands, I'm starving. So, You know, it's just so easy to go grab fast food. And today, I fought with myself. I'm like, don't do it, Angie. Oh, but you're starving and you need something to eat now. Don't do it, Angie. You can go home and make a salad real quick. Don't do it. And supposedly the restaurant that I went to is getting ready to close, go out of business. And there is this one sandwich that I used to get there that you can't get anywhere else. At least not that I know of. So I broke down and bought a steak and shake Frisco burger. Meat, cheese, rye bread with a butter because it's toasted, and Frisco sauce, which I'm sure has high fructose corn syrup in it. And of course French fries, which are greasy as heck. Brought it home and I ate it. But I will say that I'm beginning to agree with others who have said that once you switch your way of eating and you go back to eat what things that you used to enjoy, you realize that you really don't enjoy them as much as you used to. Case in point, yes, it didn't taste bad tonight, but it was very, very greasy, very, very oily. And I compared tonight's dinner with the one I had the other night. We had, I had vegetarian baked beans, a couple of Beyond Burgers, and, sorry, my grandson, and tater tots. And I enjoyed that meal a heck of a lot better, or more, than I did this nasty, greasy, fat-laden sandwich tonight. And the worst part is it didn't fill me up. I was still hungry because I'm used to eating, these bowls of vegetables or salads, bowls of salad that, it's a big, huge heaping bowl of food. And I'm used to eating that. And here I get this little meat hamburger and this little couple fries. So I did have a bowl of whole grain oat cereal with almonds. I sliced up some strawberries and put some almond milk on it. I'm having to be my own self-advocate because all the doctors around here want to do is shove stuff down your throat. I went to a nutritionist once and she didn't tell me anything I didn't already know. Except for, because they're not whole foods plant-based, if I try to tell them what I want to do, I'm just know that all they're going to say is, well, you're not going to get your right nutrients. You need to eat this or you need to drink that. A little bit won't hurt. Well, if I'm going to reverse my heart disease, I can't do that anymore. I just can't. So, once again, I'm going to advocate for myself and keep pushing through. Keep insisting with my doctors that I need to get off this medicine and they need to find something else to help me so that I can get off this crap, this poison, especially the blood pressure medicine. I'm sitting here right now and I just want to go to sleep. I just want to go to sleep. And usually, I don't know what time it is right now, but usually about 8 or 9 o'clock, the medicine starts to wear off and, I'm wide awake. Lo and behold, I'm wide awake. It's a struggle. The struggle's real. It really is. But enough of me rambling. I just wanted to put that out there to encourage you to self-advocate. Don't give up. And assure you that we're going to get through this together. Please comment, like, and subscribe. Give me that thumbs up. Hit the notification bell so that you know when I upload the video every day. In the meantime, enjoy the rest of your evening. Thank you so much for watching. And I will see you tomorrow for what hopes to be a fun day Sunday.